Dear learners, in this session, we will see a brief introduction about finite element analysis. So, finite element analysis. In this, we will see in this video, we will have an introduction about finite element analysis, and we will have a discussion about the applications, process, and the benefits of finite element analysis. So finite element analysis means it is a numerical method used to solve engineering problems. So there are number of methods to solve engineering problems. Analytical method, experimental method. Likewise, finite element analysis is a numerical method that is used to solve engineering problems. It divides complex structures into smaller elements. This process is called as discretization. Discretization is an art of subdividing all the continuum into a smaller finite elements, definite finite elements. That is called as discretization. And this finite element analysis is used for stress analysis, thermal analysis, vibration analysis, and fluid studies. Basic principle of FEA. Discretization of geometry into finite elements. So we are dividing the total continuum into small elements which is having a finite length, and that process is called as discretization. So elements, one element and another element is interconnected with nodes. So each and every element is connected with nodes. So the equations are solved for each element and assembled. So every individual element is considered, and the displacement of the nodes is solved for every element, and the displacements of all the elements is assembled to find out the results. So steps in FEA process. So pre-processing. This is the pre-processing of in an FEA, and you need to create. Everyone need to create a geometry, and the geometry is meshed. So meshing is also known as discretization. So this is a discretization process meshing, and material properties have been defined in the pre-processing of FEA, and the model is solved for the exact results. It is used for the force and stiffness element method. So force method is used for solving the model. After solving the model, post processing and interpretation of the results have been done. So meshing in finite element analysis. Mesh quality affects accuracy. So if the meshing size is very smaller, then it will have greater accuracy. So there are some types of meshing. One is called as tetrahedral, another one is called as hexahedral, and another one is called as shell elements. Finer mesh improves the precision but increases the computation. Even the computation is increased, the accuracy of the result is very good for finer meshes. Types of analysis. Finite element analysis can be used for structural analysis, thermal analysis, dynamic analysis, and fatigue analysis. Applications of finite element analysis. These kind of analysis is highly useful in automotive components, aerospace structures, civil engineering structures, manufacturing and product design. Advantages of finite element analysis. This reduces physical prototypes. So this is a prediction where the material can withstand the applied load or not. So it is an important thing to analyze the material, and it reduces the physical making of physical prototypes for testing, which is followed in an experimental analysis. That has been avoided, and the software has been introduced to analyze the prototype and the models. So it improves the design optimization. Design optimization is highly improved in finite element analysis. So avoidance of the making a prototype saves the cost and time of the analysis. So these are all the advantages of finite element analysis. And likewise, there are some limitations of finite element analysis. It requires accurate input data. So input data must be very keen and very accurate for solving the problem. and it goes for computational cost. So the results depends on assumption and risk quality. So there are some assumptions given for the analysis, and the mesh must be good in quality. That also results the difference. What are these are the limitations of finite element analysis. I hope everyone has get a knowledge about basic introduction about finite element analysis, and this is very much useful in the in the studying the finite element analysis. Thanks for watching this video.